Hello everybody and welcome to Storm Reads, and today I'm going to be talking about some November new releases. First off, I'm going to say that the sun keeps going in and out, so this video is probably going to get dark and light and dark and light, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. It is very windy here, and the wind is just blowing in through the sun and out of the sun, and it's blowing up some nasty rain, and it's going to get cold, and I don't like that. But that's what's happening. Anyway, so most of the time, there's not a lot of books, or at least ones that I'm interested in finding or mentioning during the latter part of the year, and so I don't have as many here to talk about as I normally would. Now, I know this isn't all the books that are coming out, so if there's a book that I didn't mention that you're really super interested in, please feel free to leave it down below, because basically I scour like NetGalley, and then I kind of go off of like authors that I've read or series that I'm in the middle of, or things like that to mention. So I know I'm missing a lot of things, and you might mention something that I'll be interested in, or maybe somebody who is watching this video might be interested in. So yeah, so always leave your suggestions down in the comments. So the first two I have is the only two middle grade I have, and they are also the endings of two series that I'm currently reading and caught up on. So I am looking forward to these and anticipating these, but also for one of them especially, I am super sad about. And so that first one is Mr. Limoncello's Fabulous Finale by Chris Gravenstein. So it's the last book in the Mr. Limoncello's library series. And this one comes out November 5th, and it's from Random House Books for Young Readers. And if you like a Willy Wonka sort of character, then you would love Mr. Limoncello. He is very eccentric and just, I don't know, he's just so interesting, and he's like, has boodles of money, oodles and everything, and so he's got this very elaborate library that's really interesting and interactive, and I want one of those libraries myself to play in. There's holograms and puzzles and all kinds of fun stuff, and you follow some main characters throughout the whole entire thing, and the only one I can think of at this moment is Kyle. And that's because Kyle was kind of ornery in the beginning and everything. And you do also have some who try to sabotage things that are going on with Mr. Limoncello in his library. So you do have some, bad guys. There is Charles, I think is his name. I can't remember his last name, but it's like, his name just reeks of wealth and everything. And his mother, I think, and him have tried sabotaging a few times. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and so yeah, I'm gonna be sad to see this series go, but I am interested in reading this one, and I do have an e-arc, so hopefully I can get to this one for NetGalley November, because yeah, I need to get to it. Same with this other one. And this next one is Rise of the Ancients by Justin Weinberger. This is the third and final book in the Zombie Season series. And so I'm really curious to see how this one is going to go down with the zombies. And it seems like in each book, the zombies are getting bigger, or some things are happening to them that are making them grow larger and things like that. They call it zombie season because there's like a certain time of the year when the zombies are really rampant. And you have some government officials or scientists who, you think are doing good things, but then it turns out that they're not doing so good of things, and that they're kind of experimenting on some things. And so I don't know what the Rise of the Ancients, if that means we're going to get some really nasty zombies in this last one to battle, but you've got your main characters, Oliver, and I don't remember the other ones, but you have main characters and it's usually POVs of different characters and everything. And yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. There's this zombie, I won't say anything, but there's this zombie that you're not really quite sure, is it a good zombie or a bad zombie, but it's different than the other zombies. And I'd like to know what's going to happen with that. And are we going to have any betrayals, or are we going to find out some secrets about maybe some that you thought were helping? I don't know. We'll have to see. And yeah, so if you like zombie books, but you don't want a lot of gore and everything, I would try the Zombie Season trilogy, because it's really been fun, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. And a little bit sad that it's going to be over. And this one comes out November 12th. I almost forgot again. And it comes out from Scholastic Press. And so, on to the adult books, because that's all the middle grade I have. I can't believe that's all the middle grade I had. So the first one I have here is called Courting the Country Preacher, and it's by 4 different authors, so I'm guessing it's going to have like maybe novellas, and they're each going to be about trying to find love for a preacher. And we've got Angela K. Couch, Carolyn Miller, Naomi Dawn Mush, I'm not exactly how you say that, sorry, and Carrie Trumbo. And this is Christian fiction. And it says, every preacher needs a wife, right? Being a preacher in the countryside is not for the faint of heart nor faith. 4 inexperienced preachers face a myriad of challenges, including those who figure a man of cloth needs a wife. Can they meet the expectations of helpful congruence and be true to their hearts? And so each one of them sounds like it will be fun little novellas that's historical fiction for sure, and romance. And this one comes out on November 1st, and it's from Barber Fiction. And it's a chunky one at 448 pages, but it's got 4 stories in it, so. And then we have The Author's Guide to Murder. And this one is a team up between Beatrice Williams, Lauren Willig, and Karen White. Out of all 3 of those, I've only heard of Karen White. But it says Agatha Christie meets Murder, She Wrote in the Lockroom Mystery. And says there's been a sensational murder at historic Castle Kinloch, a gothic fantasy of grey granite on a remote island in the Highlands of Scotland. It's the Scotland thing that has me. A literary superstar, Brett Saffron Presley, has been found dead under bizarre circumstances in the Castle Tower books-lined study. Years ago, Presley purchased the castle as a showpiece for his brand and to lure paying guests with a taste for writerly glamour. Now it seems the castle has done him in, or possibly one of the castle's guests. And Detective Chief Inspector Ewan, not exactly sure how you say that, McIntosh, a local with no love for this literary American show-off, or Americans in general, find himself with the inevitable task of extracting statements from 3 American lady novelists. And I'm not going to go into it any further than that, but I think it sounds pretty interesting. The only thing is, I hope it's not too much of a feminist lean, because personally I don't care for that, and I know it did say something about hashtag Me Too, and so I don't want it to be too feminist, but I still wanted to talk about it because I know that others are going to probably like that part and enjoy it. Just may not be for me, but somebody else might enjoy it. I do like the Scottish part though. And because I always forget, this comes out November 5th, and it's from William Morrow. Next up we have Unforgotten by Shelley Shepard Gray, and this one I think is maybe Christian suspense or something. I mean, it kind of sounds like it could be. There is a stalker involved. So it says, even though Beth Ann Holstatter has found some peace 8 years after the attempted assault and the accidental death of Peter Miller, she is still haunted by the memories when her Englisher cousin Candace, who has just been crowned Miss Crittenden County, reveals that she has a stalker. All of Beth Ann's old fears come rushing back. Jay Rabber had once been Peter's best friend, and the fact that he didn't protect Beth Ann on that faithful night has haunted him ever since. To make matters worse, she continues to avoid him, and even though he continues to love her. Jay can only hope and pray that one day Beth Ann will see the person he is today and not the boy that he was. And so it talks about Cadence's stalker becomes bolder, and there's an officer involved and all that. So I'm thinking it's romantic suspense, and it sounds really interesting. And this one comes out November 1st, and it's from Revel. And so I'm really curious about that one. I know I won't get to it anytime soon, but it does sound pretty interesting. So I got a Christmas one here for my mystery lovers, and it is called The Christmas Eve Murders by Nicole Albright, and it says it's Christmas Eve at the Merry Monarch. Nestled amongst the Yorkshire Dales, the pub is preparing to host its annual festive games for its rabble of regulars. But this year, there's an uninterrupted knock at the door from a stranger stranded by the snowstorm that closes in on all the village. And it won't be the only surprise of the night. When the power is cut and the darkness descends, the games turn deadly. It seems one of the group will kill to win. Oh, sounds kind of cool. And this one comes out November 7th, and it's from Quarkus. So this next one might not be for the faint of heart. It sounds like it could be a little gross. It's a mystery, but it's also labeled as horror, but it is young adult, and I do fairly decent sometimes with young adult mystery thrillers. It just depends. And this one sounds really interesting, so I'm hoping it doesn't let me down. And this one's called Deadly Animals by Maria Tierney. And it's a debut novel. And it says, finding a dead body is not normal, but Ava is not a normal teenager. So it says 14-year-old Ava Bonnie is unlike other children. She has an obsessive interest in the rate in which dead animals decompose. The motorway she lives by regularly offers up roadkill, and in the dead of night, Ava likes nothing more than to pull her latest discovery into her roadkill den and record her discoveries. Yuck. One night, she stumbles across the body of her classmate, Mickey Grant, and fearing that her secret ritual could be revealed, she makes an anonymous call to the police. When Detective Seth, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Delahaye, yeah, I'm out, is given the case, Ava won't step back. Not when teenagers in her sleepy South Birmingham town are going missing. How hard can it be to track a killer? And so it says that this is Mary Tierney's debut. And so it's a novel about small communities descending into devastation and desperation and the bravery of the youth in the face of darkness. And so we will give it a try and see. And this one comes out November 12th. And it's from Henry Holt and Company. Okay, so all my cozy fans, they already know about this one, but just in case that's somebody that's subscriber that doesn't hang out in the Killing Time with Cozies place, they will maybe find this one interesting. And you can go back to number 1 and start, because this is number 5, and it's I'll Be Home for Mischief by Jacqueline Frost. It's the 5th book in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries. It's one of my favorite cozy mysteries. If you love everything Christmas, you like the whimsy of Christmas, you like the fun and games of Christmas, and you like all the snow, you must try this series. It is a great series. There is even a character that I swear could be Santa Claus. And this is about innkeeper Molly White, and she's decking the halls at Christmas season, but someone is on the naughty list when a body is discovered. So I'm not going to go into any more detail about this series. Like I said, a lot of people know about it, but if it sounds like something you would love to read, I really, really suggest that you go back to number 1. Even though you could probably read this one, go back to number 1. They are all Christmas, so you can just binge this really great Christmas series. And this one comes out November 12th, and it's from Crooked Lane Books. Okay, so the last book that I have, like I said, I didn't have a whole lot. It's kind of sad. So that book is Death Below Deck by Jan Gangsey? I'm not exactly sure how you say that. But this is also another young adult mystery thriller. And so, like I said, a little hit or miss with those, but this one sounds really interesting. My only problem with this one, and you'll probably figure it out whenever I read this little bit, but I don't know about how I feel about this, but it says when an heiress disappears from her super yacht, a security footage shows her getting pushed. The main suspect has to prove her innocence in this thrilling mystery at sea, told in reverse chronological order. I'm not real sure about reverse chronological order. I think I've read some like that before, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think I'm a huge fan, but I don't think I've read a lot that way, so it could be interesting or it could not. I don't know, something about starting with the person, like, I guess already dead, and then going back to see, like, what happened and back and forth and things like that. I'm not sure about. But I'll give it a try. It says it was supposed to be the best ever girls trip. 5 days, 4 friends, 1 luxury yacht, no parents. But on the final night, as the yacht cruised the deep and dark waters between Florida and the Grand Cayman, 18-year-old heiress Gazelle vanished. She is nowhere to be found the next morning, even after a frantic search, until security footage surfaces showing Maggie pushing her overboard. Maggie has no memory of what happened, so we are going to have to go along and with Maggie, I bet, and try to piece together what happened and see if did Maggie really do it or did somebody else do it. It sounds good, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those that, with any thriller, it's going to be the ending that is going to do it. We'll see. But anyway, that one comes out November 19th, and it's from HarperCollins, and that's it, everybody. It's all of them. So, like I said, if you have one that you find interesting that's coming out, please let me know about it down below and everything, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.